Number 10, Evil or Live. Young men and women are experiencing net addiction, a condition which manifests as a series of negative emotions and which in turn causes them to withdraw further into the internet and electronic devices. 17-year-old Hibiki has been involuntarily enrolled in a rehabilitation facility called the Elite Reeducation Academy, but the place is little more than a strict prison for Hibiki and others like him. Number 9, Bitoom. Ryota Sakamoto is an unemployed 22-year-old young man who lives with his mother Yuki. He is one of the world's top players of the combat video game called Bitoom. One day, he awakes in what appears to be a tropical island, though he does not remember how or why he has been transported there. While wandering around, Ryota sees someone and calls out for help. The stranger responds by throwing a bomb at him. Ryota soon realizes that his life is in danger and that he has somehow been trapped in a real-life version of his favorite game. In the game, Ryota meets Himiko, who is another Bitoom player, and Ryota's in-game wife. Number 8, Penguindrum. A terminally ill girl named Himari Takakura is miraculously saved from death by a strange spirit who resides in a penguin-shaped hat. However, in exchange for extending her life, the spirit tasks Himari's brothers, Kanba and Shoma, to seek out an elusive item known as the Penguindrum with the assistance from a trio of strange penguins. Number 7, 91 Days. The story is set in the town of Lawless, Illinois during Prohibition in 1928, where brewed liquor dominates the black market thanks for the Italian mafia. Angelo Lagusa, a young man whose family was murdered in a mafia dispute, seeks revenge against the Vanity family, particularly its Don, Vincent Vanity. After 7 years in hiding following the night of the murder, Angelo receives an anonymous letter from a friend of his father's, prompting him to return to Lawless and exact his revenge. Under the name of Avelio Bruno, he begins to infiltrate the Vanity family by slowly befriending the Don's son, Nero. However, in this dramatic 91-day story, revenge breeds revenge, and killing may yield drastic consequences. How will Angelo Lagusa and Nero Vanity fare in this tragic harvest field that they have only begun to sow? Number 6, Guilty Crown. The story takes place in Tokyo in 2039, after the outbreak of the apocalypse virus, during what became known as the Lost Christmas of 2029. Since then, Japan has been under the control of the multinational organization called GHQ. Oma Shu is a 17-year-old boy who mistakenly obtains a rare and great power. He can use this power, the right hand of the king, to extract voids, or tools, weapons that are the manifestations of people's hearts. He has been rather shy since a childhood tragedy, but both his personality and life change forever when he meets a girl named Yuzuri Hironori, a member of the rebel group called Undertakers, whose members seek the restoration of self-government in Japan via the ousting of GHQ. Number 5. Yona of the Dawn. Princess Yona lives a life of luxury and ease, completely sheltered from the problems of the seemingly peaceful kingdom of Koka. However, the sudden murder of the king and betrayal of her beloved cousin Su-won places Yona's life in mortal peril. Forced to escape only with Sunhak, who is both her childhood friend and bodyguard, the naive princess soon discovers that Koka is not the idyllic place she envisioned it to be. Poverty, strife, and corruption run rampant, making reclaiming the throne nothing more than a wishful fantasy given the kingdom's current state. On the 4th place, Arifata, from commonplace to world's strongest. High schooler Hajime Nagumo is bullied by his classmate for his relationship with the class idol, Kaori. When he and the rest of his class are transported to a fantasy world, all of his classmates get powerful magical abilities, while Hajime only gains the basic alchemical magic to transmute solid materials, a common ability usually found in craftsmen and smiths. During a dungeon raid, he is betrayed by one of his classmates and dropped to the bottom of the dungeon. He survives the fall and creates weapons to escape the dungeon and become stronger. On his journey, he meets with the imprisoned vampire Yue, and later is joined by the bunny-eared Shay, the perverted dragon Tio, and others. In the 3rd place, the heroic legend of Arslan. The story follows the exploits of Arslan, the crown prince of the fictional kingdom of Pars. Pars is taken over by the neighboring nation of Lusitania after Arslan's father, King Andragoras III, falls victim to a treacherous plot led by some of his most trusted retainers. After barely escaping with his life, Arslan rejoins his loyal servant, Daryun. Backed up by only a few more companions, including the philosopher and tactician Narcissus and his young servant Elam, also Pharangis, an aloof, cold priestess, and Give, a traveling musician and con man, Arslan stands against overwhelming odds to assemble an army strong enough to liberate his nation from the Lusitanian army, which is led by the elusive warrior known as Silvermask, who is later revealed to be another contender to Par's throne. Number 2. Berserk. The series focuses on the life of Guts, an orphaned mercenary warrior who calls himself the Black Swordsman, as he looks upon his days serving as a member of a group of mercenaries, the Band of the Hawk. Led by an ambitious, ruthless, yet intelligent and graceful man named Griffith, together they battle their way into the royal court, and are forced into a fate that may change their entire lives. Number 1. Rising of the Shield Hero. The Rising of the Shield Hero follows Naofumi Iwatani, a 20-year-old university student who was whisked away to a fantasy game-like realm of monsters and magic after discovering a book about 4 heroes. Iwatani is chosen as one of these 4 and given the mantle of the Shield Hero. The other 3 were also young males summoned from worlds similar to Iwatani's, but it was he who got the short end of the stick. The least charismatic of the bunch, only one woman joined his party, and that person soon betrayed him and falsely accused him of rape. Now the cynical Iwatani must somehow survive in a new and dangerous world that despises him.
with